Have you ever wondered if there's like a real formula for success? I'm not talking about just tips and tricks, but a fundamental secret, a key that unlocks the world's greatest achievements. Well, today, we're digging into the incredible origin story of a philosophy that claims to hold that very secret, a secret that took 20 years of unpaid work to finally bring to light. And it all starts with this guy, Andrew Carnegie, who was one of the wealthiest people in all of history. See, the author Napoleon Hill tells us the secret wasn't something he just came up with. It was something revealed to him by Carnegie himself. And this wasn't just some casual advice. This was the actual key that built fortunes. And that, of course, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? What was this piece of knowledge that was so powerful, Carnegie was convinced it could change the entire world? To figure that out, we have to go back to a single, fateful meeting that put everything into motion. So let's set the scene. This is the very beginning of our story, an almost unbelievable encounter between a young, unknown writer and an absolute titan of industry. The year is 1908. A young journalist, his name is Napoleon Hill, is working on a series about famous men. He somehow lands the assignment of a lifetime, an interview with Andrew Carnegie. Hill shows up with pretty much nothing but ambition and a notepad, thinking he's there for a standard, maybe 3-hour interview. He had absolutely no idea that this one conversation was about to change his life forever. I mean, you can't overstate the difference between these two. On one side, you've got Hill, young, totally broke, a complete nobody. And on the other, you've got Carnegie, the guy who practically built the steel industry, one of the richest men on the entire planet. It really is a David and Goliath situation. But what happened next wasn't a battle. It was an incredible, life-altering proposition. You see, Carnegie was so impressed by Hill's mind that the 3-hour interview, well, it turned into a 3-day interview. And at the very end of it, Carnegie laid down a challenge that was so bold, so audacious, it was honestly almost unbelievable. He didn't just share his secret, he basically dared Hill to prove it to the world. Carnegie believed that the principles of success weren't magic, that they could be taught, and he challenged Hill to be the one to write them down, to create the world's very first philosophy of achievement. It was a massive idea, but, oh yeah, it came with some serious catches. The first catch? The time commitment. Carnegie figured the project would take at least 20 years of Hill's life. I mean, just think about that for a second. 2 entire decades dedicated to a single goal with no guarantee of success. And if that wasn't daunting enough, the second catch made it sound completely impossible. That's right, Carnegie said he'd open doors, he'd introduce Hill to the most powerful people in America, but he wouldn't pay him a single dime for his time. Hill would have to figure out how to support himself while taking on this colossal, 20-year-long mission. It was the ultimate test of faith in the idea itself. And then, to cap it all off, Carnegie pulls out a stopwatch. He looks at Hill and gives the young writer exactly 60 seconds to say yes or no to this insane, high-risk proposition. He even told Hill later that if he'd taken a single second longer, the offer would have been off the table. He was testing his decisiveness. So, what did Hill do? He said yes in just 29 seconds, less than half the time he was given. That immediate, decisive action was all the proof Carnegie needed. He knew he'd found the right person for the job. And just like that, the mission began. So with that, yes, the clock started ticking. But what did this 20-year quest actually involve? Well, it meant getting inside the minds of the most brilliant and successful people of the era to find out what they all had in common. And Carnegie was a man of his word. He gave Hill access to the absolute titans of the age. We're talking Henry Ford, the guy who put the world on wheels, Thomas Edison, the planet's greatest inventor, Alexander Graham Bell, who literally connected the world, even U.S. presidents like Woodrow Wilson. Hill didn't just interview them. He analyzed the thinking of over 500 of the most successful people alive. See, Hill wasn't just collecting cool stories. He was on a mission, almost like a detective, looking for a pattern. What was the common denominator? What was the one philosophy, the secret that all of these incredibly different, unbelievably successful people were using to achieve greatness? And make no mistake, this wasn't just some abstract, feel-good theory. We have proof of its immense real-world power. Take the case of Charles M. Schwab. He applied this philosophy so well that it made him a fortune that was worth over $600 million. This wasn't just about positive thinking. It was about achieving tangible, absolutely massive results. So, after 2 long decades of tireless work, Napoleon Hill had finally cracked it. He had organized the philosophy, he tested it, he'd proven Carnegie's secret. Now, the only thing left to do was to share it with the world. And the culmination of that entire incredible journey is this legendary book, Think and Grow Rich. This is the final product of that 29-second decision Hill made all those years ago. It's the complete philosophy of achievement that Carnegie dreamed of, built from the lives and experiences of hundreds of history's greatest minds. So, what is the secret? Well, the book never gives it one single name, but it all boils down to a core philosophy. It's not about wishing for things. It's about applying proven principles that you know work. Two of the huge ones are having a definiteness of purpose, knowing exactly what you want, and forming a mastermind group with others to help you get there. These are the principles that built the modern world. And here's the really fascinating part. The core secret is woven all through the book. It's mentioned over 100 times, but never explicitly labeled as the secret. The idea is that for someone who is truly ready, truly searching for it, the principles will literally jump from the page. Not like magic, but like a sudden, clear roadmap for success. In the end, this 20-year secret isn't just a cool story about Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. It's really a challenge to all of us. The principles that built massive fortunes and literally changed the world, they aren't locked away. They're right there, waiting to be used. The only real question left is, what are you going to build with them?